This equation illustrates an exact, mathematically verified transaction. An initial input of $3,140 yields an output of $800,000 in travel value, plus lifetime elite airline status. The operator of this transaction was David Phillips, a civil engineer working in 1999. He did not write a line of malicious code, and he broke 0 laws. His chosen asset class was 12,150 physical cups of chocolate pudding, purchased off the shelves of local grocery stores. Within 3 weeks, that pudding converted into 1.25 million frequent flyer miles, securing him first-class global travel for the rest of his life. Corporate lawyers combed through the details of his execution looking for a violation. They were forced to conclude he followed the printed rules to the letter. Phillips exploited unbounded variables in corporate marketing systems to achieve a massive transfer of value. To understand the mechanics of this exploit, we have to look at the underlying asset. Frequent flyer miles function as an independent, highly volatile fiat currency. The economics of this currency operate differently than sovereign money. Airlines print miles out of thin air, with a fulfillment cost that sits at a fraction of a cent. This chart shows the airline's revenue engine. They mint a mile for less than half a cent and sell it to a corporate partner for 2 to 3 cents. This transaction generates a profit margin of 300 to 500%. On a macroeconomic scale, major legacy airlines frequently report operating losses on the physical act of flying planes, while simultaneously reporting billions in profit exclusively from their loyalty programs. This entire financial ecosystem operates outside the bounds of standard banking regulations, leaving third-party corporate buyers holding immense systemic liability. When a third-party corporation purchases this airline currency to use as promotional bait, any flaw in their conversion math creates an exploitable valuation gap for consumers. The catalyst for the exploit was a 1999 Healthy Choice grocery promotion. The offer was straightforward. Consumers earned 500 airline miles for every 10 product barcodes mailed in. A critical modifier accelerated the timeline. If the barcodes were submitted by the end of May, the payout doubled to 1,000 miles per 10 barcodes. This logic comparison visualizes the flaw in the system architecture. The marketing team expected consumers to buy $2 frozen dinners, but the system logic specified any product and failed to establish a maximum submission cap. Phillips identified the promotion as a mathematical anomaly and began searching for the cheapest possible qualifying asset. He bypassed $2 frozen dinners and 90-cent soups, hunting instead through the extreme clearance inventory of discount grocery outlets. He found his optimal asset in Sacramento, individual chocolate pudding cups marked down to exactly 25 cents each. This equation reveals the unit economics. 10 cups cost $2.50, generating 1,000 miles. His exact acquisition cost is a quarter cent per mile. Weighing this against the standard valuation of 2 cents per mile reveals a 3,200% markup. Marketing departments design their systems based on median consumer behavior. They frequently fail to model edge case stress testing by highly analytical actors. Achieving a payout of 1.25 million miles required immense physical scale. Phillips needed to acquire exactly 12,150 individual cups. As this time-lapse demonstrates, physical friction scales rapidly. Identical pudding cups aggressively stack into an overwhelming, massive pile. Modern digital exploits scale instantly, with a single line of code running 1,000,000 times. Physical exploits require severe human effort. The initial logistical hurdle required Phillips to drive across multiple cities, exhausting discount store inventories and directly requesting warehouse reserves. To maintain operational security and avoid suspicion from store managers, he utilized the impending Y2K panic as a cover story for hoarding. Then he hit an operational bottleneck that threatened the entire plan. The promotion required peeling 12,150 physical labels by hand before the strict May deadline. His family joined him in a garage packed floor to ceiling with cardboard towers, suffering blistered fingers and hand cramps to process the inventory. Mathematically perfect arbitrage systems reliably encounter friction and collapse at the point of human labor constraints. Phillips realized his processing capacity was insufficient. He needed an immediate labor arbitrage solution. He called the Salvation Army, offering a massive bulk food donation in exchange for their volunteers peeling the barcodes. It was a perfectly balanced operational trade. The charity desperately needed food inventory, and they possessed the idle volunteer workforce he lacked. This move triggered a secondary systemic exploit. As shown in these IRS 1040 and Schedule A documents, donations to registered 501c3 charities qualify for itemized tax deductions. The regulatory loophole is in the valuation. The IRS calculates charitable deductions based on the current retail value of an item, entirely ignoring the actual purchase price. This ledger shows the financial disparity. He paid a 25-cent clearance price, but the retail value was 89 cents. The aggregate deduction on 12,150 cups generated over $10,800 in value, yielding an $815 tax return. His adjusted cost basis dropped to $2,325. By following the parameters of the tax code, the U.S. government paid a significant portion of his initial startup capital. Routing his supply chain through a registered charity weaponized the tax code to simultaneously solve his operational bottleneck and slash his financial risk. When 256 certified envelopes arrived simultaneously at the Healthy Choice Processing Center from a single individual, Conagra headquarters panicked. The corporate liability was immense. The company was contractually obligated to purchase 1.25 million miles from the airlines, costing them nearly $37,500 at wholesale rates. A legal team mobilized, searching the original promotional documents for a contractual escape hatch regarding household limits or exclusions on clearance items. Phillips survived the scrutiny because he meticulously documented his compliance with every parameter in their open-loop contract. He then faced a final automated firewall, the American Airlines fraud detection system in Fort Worth, Texas. His sudden deposit of over 1 million miles triggered immediate corporate alarms, requiring an analyst to manually verify his account history for chargebacks or suspicious activity. Corporations ultimately have to capitulate to compliance. Denying a rule-abiding claim guarantees a losing lawsuit and a public relations crisis. The pudding exploit made Phillips a legend, securing decades of front-of-the-plane global travel for his family. The evolution of arbitrage involves travel hackers hunting for the next mathematical loophole, one with zero physical friction. In 2008, the U.S. Mint launched a promotion to circulate new United States presidential $1 coins, offering free shipping and allowing credit card purchases at face value. Hackers immediately recognized that this was a government-subsidized, uncapped fiat-to-fiat conversion loop. This cyclic flowchart illustrates the mechanics. Buy coins on a rewards card, receive free shipping from the Mint, deposit the cash at a bank, and pay off the card balance immediately for a net cost of zero. Because this method required zero physical labor, the exploit scaled infinitely. Expanding the matrix shows the final outcome. Phillips spent over $2,000 for 1.25 million miles, while a digital user accumulated 4 million miles with zero capital investment. The U.S. government directly funded the shipping costs for the largest travel arbitrage in history. As long as financial systems rely on the assumption of average user behavior, they will inevitably be shattered by actors optimizing for extreme edge cases.